Afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast with me, your host Imperial Dane, Master Propaganda Hero Psych, Defender of the Fatherland. Off here, an exciting 1 versus 1, goddammit, on Arnhem Checkpoint. The setting is 1944. The Germans pulling back here towards the German borders after having been beaten in Normandy, and the Americans on hot pursuit here in the south. S205 fighting forwards here with the 6th Armored Division in hot pursuit. In the north, we got those Steiner here fighting for the Wehrmacht to Germany, Deutschland, forming up a hastily assembled Kampfgruppe from the Panzer to counterattack and throw back those allies and buy time for the rest of the forces to fall back. We got mechanized, we got Spearhead, and we got mobile defense with double infantry Panzers versus S205 with Rifle Company and triple infantry. Rifle Company, so not a doctrine we see a lot of, but I still think personally it's a very potent one, in partly simply due to the E6 being still actually very solid. Medium tanks, definitely a premium medium, plus flamethrowers, and the rest of the package is also pretty solid. Going here for the WS on the start, trying to take advantage of the possibility of flamethrowers, also just allows him to grab more territory in the early game. Steiner here, heroically leading his men forward there with the machine gun, a particular point here for the fatherland, for the elite Panzer Division to shoot down those allies. More often here, first 205 is brave boys scout out the lines for any cracks, and there go first engagement. Car 90Ks versus the M1 carbine here. Shots going back and forth here, so they both run for buildings, for cover, for safety. Well, relative safety anyways. Machine gun remaining on the carve point, so no worried about that. So far, S205 seems to be wanting a direct push for that. In fact, he seems to be trying to outmaneuver Steiner here. Very good. They're trying to keep him flat-footed and less unsure what's going to happen. More grenadiers on the way for Steiner. Moving here with a machine gun to the house to carry up the carve point, but also the victory point. Otherwise, there does have a theoretical blind spot here with this nice blossoming tree. Of course, that still requires you to get somehow within the area and still somehow do something like machine gun. Machine gun there. Should be able to deal with the reactions. There you go. 1200 rounds per minute in the direction, plus the pioneers with MP40s. And there you go, reactions caught and forced back. Mike, there we go, take a small casualties. Joe stumbles over. Grenadiers moving up, being under fire from the rifle, moving up here, using the church as a staging point for an attack on the house. Steiner here is lacking force to overall deal with this, so overall they're going to need some mostly now by time, and otherwise they'll have to fall back here, in which case they'll probably have to be a full retreat, simply because of the sheer number of riflemen. Like, he can't maintain this position for much longer without actually risking a direct wipe on the Grenadiers. There we go, now got the rifleman carrying the exit of the house, at least the direct exit, so has to retreat there. Not the best over there for Steiner in the... See, now he planned to push into these, but instead is now forced to have to react to S205's push into the center. Machine gun also moving up here, opening up the rifle, of course, giving away the position on negative cover. Could have a few problems there for Steiner's MG42 there, but there you go, rifle caught here in the negative cover, trying to cross it, and there he goes, suppressed, taking heavy damage. So this moving to deal with the rifle now, pushing out into a negative cover, but also trying to get behind the MG42. Still pretty risky here for Steiner. Pioneers went to shoot away at least one rifle squad. Some rather intense engagements here with infantry going on in the early moments of the game. Flamethrower squad number 1 here, ready for S205, a very high ranked player. I can't quite specifically remember the specific rank, but I do believe we're sort of talking in the top 50s. I might be a bit wrong there. Pioneers dealing with the re-echelons, being shot to bits. And there we go, full wipe. They're quite lost there for S205, a bit too slow there, underestimating the power of the Pioneers combined with the MD42, though the MD42 on their hand almost got wiped, which would certainly have been quite a blow there to Steiner had that happened. And the fast, we got the reactions of ground territory back down here. We got a mortar on the way there for S205 to of course help counter the machine gun, any other tactics here that Steiner might go for, in particular around the center of the map. Ooh, he's using that low health machine gun trying to grab that point. That is pretty ambitious there by the Germans player. Not something I'd necessarily recommend. I mean, a few good shots, a really good flank could very well spell the demise of the MD42, who's just hit Veterans who won, and that'd be a real shame for him to lose there. But there you go, right and push back, almost getting a wipe there again, and 2 wipes to have the Americans in this early of a game state could be quite critical. Rifleman setting out here, mortar as well around there for S205. Morgan is on the way there for Steiner for the German army. Machine guns used to grab territory here. He's not just using the lockdown as spot. Cough on the hit there as well. So far, though, Steiner's leading up very aggressively here with some good pushes against the Americans, denying him most of his fuel, and of course gaining a fat fuel advantage himself. So really good start here by Steiner. Good strong play, though of course to an extent, if you are the Wehrmacht, I do feel like you have to play very aggressively against the Americans, particularly using the machine gun rather cleverly here, so to have a good chance, and so far that to an extent is what he's done here, though certainly it can't last forever. We got the Arnhem Checkpoint company up here for him. A fast 2-2 could be useful on a map like this. Half-tech could also be useful, upgraded or not. And of course, Panzer Grenadiers are something I always recommend. They are, again, I feel like terminally overlooked, but are pretty solid infantry. And if your opponent doesn't upgrade his infantry, they become amazing. Still, he is playing a high-risk game here with the MD-40 again. It is so low on health. I mean, all the Americans have to do is move up, then sneeze at it, and the entire crew drops dead. But there you go. He's taking the car form there. Steiner, in this case, though, has perhaps taken a bit off more than he can chew. Is actually now trying to see so much territory, he can't actually defend his car point successfully. So there might be a chance here for S205 to at least slightly level things out. He is pushing here for the captain in this case, by the way. Very worth noting there. Possibly feeling that due to the current situation he is actually behind, could risk armor, in which case getting out the Studer does help deal with infantry, also help the anti-tank guns, which of course he will need, by the way, to help stop medium armor. Could of course be the right strategic move here by S205. So nice play there. Most players with a head will usually go for the lieutenant, and yeah, as predicted, he lost the veteran machine gun crew again. High risk play. I mean, again, if he could pull it off as long as possible, neat, but losing the machine gun like that is definitely pretty risky as well. And right now he has no one nearby to actually crew it, so this is, again, it feels a bit overeager. Still, fuel-wise, he is pulling ahead. Captain now arriving there for S205 for the 6th Armoured. And it is moving up this repair, and recruit mostly. 2-2 halfway done here for Steiner. On a large map like this, though, a half-tech could be a great choice. And it's interesting to note here, S205 first is going for the pack howitzer for artillery, possibly thinking that Steiner's going to be trying to establish some strong points to just dig in which case the addition of the pack howitzer is, well, a pretty strong choice. I mean, not a lot of players actually use the pack howitzer, but the thing about it, it's actually a really solid sort of, shall we say, light to medium artillery piece for the Americans. It can really do some serious harm. So, I mean, it's definitely a good piece here, and it can be really devastating against the German player, and particularly the German player is not prepared for it. We can also see he's pushing the mortar aggressively. Again, he's trying to keep up push back at Steiner. He's trying to somehow, wrest back the initiative back from him. Not quite successfully happening. Lots of going to use the neat reinforcements. Looking a bit depleted there. Of course, we've got the 2-2, which gives him more mobility in the field. Rifle grenade definitely dodged there. Good play here, and we've got the 2-2 spot in the rear echelons. So much action going across, and there we go. Captain caught with the MD-42 again. Steiner is definitely an aggressive player with the MD-42, and I mean, that I think is a large part of why he's actually able to control the map, despite in some ways, actually, if you look at the population, there's actually a bit of a difference there, but a part of it is basically just he's using the machine gun actively and aggressively. Of course, he should be careful about not playing it too aggressively, of course, just hand it over to the Americans, but I do feel like just good Wehrmacht play is really centered about having a fluid and understanding of using the heavy machine gun 42, so that will help control the field and just, gain any edge you need versus the infantry. So, thumbs up there to him. Pack howitzer firing. Straight at the MD-42 is going to have to treat that immediately. Otherwise, that's not going to last long. There's just 75 minutes of pack howitzer just bombards away. Back here, reinforcement healing going on. We'll have to see how soon he begins taking up. I imagine S205 is going to go for the Stuart light tank to that way, try and, push the 2-2 back, also put some pressure on the infantry, and of course set up for the inevitable medium armor, because as it's currently standing, he's not going to be able to get out tanked before the German player can, unless he's like super lucky. So in this regard, again, the captain is just a very good foresight there, good accepting of just the situation as it is, and just him trying to do the best of what he's got. So really good play. Then again, he's probably going to make the Stuart into anti-tank guns. That way he can use the Stuart to start the anti-tanks, and use the anti-tanks that way, push them away, ensuring he doesn't get completely overrun by panzers. So S205 is clearly playing the long game against the Germans. Rifleman Racing sending eastwards, Captain doing the can here, 2-2 Grenadiers splitting up. And we got the Grenadiers sneaking in as well, Rifleman splitting a bit up. Here we got the Pioneers being pushed back. He can about now actually go for the Stuart light tank. We'll have to see if he does go for it now, he works for it. But I'd be surprised if he does not go for the Stuart at all. Grenadiers being pushed out there. And the Captain there, heroically fighting. Come on guys, we can do this. There's just, 500 million crowds. You can count to 1 billion. Shut up, Joe. Flamethrower burning those. The Grenadiers to discontinue providing covering fire there for them. Flamethrower does assist to push back the German Grenadiers. Got Stuart on the way there for S205, more or less as predicted. And these typically the Grenadiers versus a big push there of S205's Rifleman. But again, constant fuel harassment. Steiner keeps up the pressure. He is unrelenting, unyielding. Machine gun there setting up to cover up again. I mean, again, it's just really just amazing how he uses the MG42 again. If it wasn't for that whole, you know, playing a very low health machine gun so aggressively, you know, he would have ordered probably this one Nabavechny 2, which would have been amazing. Back here, though, healing reinforcement once more. Back in S205 space. Nope, well, he used the captain to actually rush out the Stuart. Another sign of having a high skill player. Most players, if they ever go for the captain, tend not to use the supervisor, but he did it to get a Stuart really fast. So good play there again by S205. He could do with an ambulance, and I would also say at some point, you know, maybe a few bars and bazookas, but he's obviously under so much pressure, and fuel-wise, I mean, all of these things cost fuel, and you have to, of course, make some priorities here. So in this regard, prioritising, I think the Stuart is probably the best choice here. And again, Steiner offers the most potential for a range into his works compared to the ambulance, or say bar, simply because the Stuart requires a bigger response here from the German player. So again, S205, he's clearly working with what he's got and trying to do his best out there, and we'll have to see how that works out. But so far, I'm definitely liking to see that. Some players tend not to be very good at, say, reacting and, you know, actually adapting their strategies to what's happening here. But so far, S205 seems to be very much doing exactly that, which is honestly one of the reasons I'm casting this match, just to show you what you can do again if things aren't going your way, because that is where I think some people just tend to sort of fall a bit apart. But so far, Stuart here, the rifle's backing up against the Grenadiers. Pack-Outs are firing down, getting off some good damage, but no kills. Steiner, interesting enough, he's not going for a lot of light machine guns despite having all those Grenadiers. Partly, of course, is just lack of munitions. No take-up still. You'd figure with the current situation as this, he'd just try and push for the Panzer as soon as possible, and just, no, really look like it. Going for the Pak 40 first, he's worried about the Stuart. And of course, this delays the tech, which of course gives S205 more time. So in this regard, the Stuart serves multiple purposes, and one of them is just stalling Steiner from taking up to the medium armor faster as it is. So certainly highlights just what you can do with a single unit at times, and what sort of responses it can force from the enemy. It's a good play there by S205, definitely commendable. Though of course Steiner's constant harassment and of course great machine gun play is also commendable. Grabbing the victory point, they're heading for the fuel point. Reason's bring up here with the Stuart. Mortar pack out here. I mean, right now though, S205 is actually playing pretty risky there. I mean, if Steiner knew this, he would just rush them, could possibly at least steal the pack out and turn against S205. That would be unpleasant for him. But so far, he is not quite realizing this. So it's working out there for S205 to an extent. That is, he's still losing his fuel point, but you know, at least he's not losing units. Fuel points can be recaptured. Units can't be that easily replaced compared to in a sense. There we go, spots the mortar and the pack-out. Will he sort of commit more? Or can he commit more for that match? But there you go. Swarm of riflemen hitting the Pioneers like a wall of American bricks. Stuart there with 5 kills, pack-outs out. Well, he should begin taking now that here's Steiner. He should definitely begin taking. The faster he can push out those panzers, the better. Noting he's also been laying down telemines to help catch up the Stuart any other armor. Very good force out there by Steiner. And a big push, has to defend there. Still no tech up there for Steiner. He's got plenty of fuel and manpower to do so though. Unless he's planning to send an extra panzer into the squad, just has more pressure as all the infantry. Stuart moving up. Direct path that would actually mean straight to the telemine. Possibly, of course, S205 could be anticipating this, which is why he's rushing in the Stuart like that. He just doesn't feel like there's much point in it. I have to say exactly what he's thinking. Steiner needs to be taking here, though. Going to do sending out here, trying to flank in behind the American player, possibly. To just going for the rifle, risking anti-tank rifle. Pack 40 going to do moving up. Probably shouldn't be sending the Pack 40 in first like that. It's a sort of hostile territory when they're going to lose nearby. Who could, you know, be drawing the attention and spotting out possible Yankees. Probably to get the machine gun over here to support. We got the pack out in the 5 and they're going to do stooping up westwards here. Going to try and go for this 2 damage, 2 to 2. Still not taking up here. Definitely starting to feel a bit like a slip up there by Steiner, because he's always doing so well. So him just not taking up as fast as possible does feel like is a bit of a blunder. Got a wipe though, so obviously not all bad here for Steiner here versus S205. The Panzerlehr continues to deliver grievous damage to the Yankees. The 6th Armored. And there we go. Finally happening here at the 50-minute mark. He could have this got going soon. Obviously the Stuart delayed to an extent, lost the gun to deal with light machine gun barrel, that's bad, but he could even then after the Pack 40 go on for it faster, so I'd definitely say that could have been done just a tad better. Anyway, troops reinforcing here, preparing for the next big push or defense. Fixing up the Stuart. Goddamn crowd shooting at our tanks. Yeah. What? It's like, you know, they don't want to die, Carl. Shut up, Sarge. 2-2 being fixed up, 11 kills, tech almost done. Machine gun waiting here. Bit more strategy this time around. Sure enough, it's always a bit weird when things get silent when the Americans about. Yes, they can't ever shut up, can they? Yes, wer sind the Russians? MG42 dealing with the advancing riflemen. Gaining veteran 2 in the process. Yeah, good, but of course got a big flame inbound. We also got bars up now here for S205. Plus, of course, someone with an LMG42. Those guns probably should retreat the wrong straight into the bars. Not good there. Looks like Steiner here's not paying attention. Almost lost an entire sport there. Just paying attention. That's always pleasant when that happens. So Paul McCall, though, is halfway done there. He can go for a Panzer IV soon as it's done, and that's going to have an impact. S205 here going for the M1 anti-tank gun to put some fear of anti-tank into the Germans. Rifleman almost wiped out. Somebody below there, S205 will suffer the wipe there. And here we got Gunners once more running to the rifleman here. Apparently he's not quite paying attention there still. Panzer IV on the way for Steiner, for the Panzerlehr Panzerdivision, the Panzerkampfwagen 4. And one almost done, plus a replacement captain there, first 205. Not a bad choice at all. Panzer seems to have flubbed against the Stuart. Bit of bad luck trying to get the Pack 40 down, using exposed. This is actually pretty bad there for Steiner. Got too greedy and reckless. Losing the Pack 40 to 205 would be a bit of a problem, particularly for the Panzer IV. So that means that's going to be 2 anti-tank guns and the Stuart to deal with the Panzer IV. And that's going to be very easily done then, first 205. So he's going to have to try and rush everything in there to deny the Pack 40 here to S205 in the 6th Armored Division. Otherwise, he's going to regret that. Stuart moving in though. Oh dear, he's going to regret. He's even trying to first prioritize wiping out the riflemen rather than prioritizing ensuring the Americans don't get the bloody anti-tank gun. Plus, of course, additionally, that means he doesn't have anything to deal with Stuart otherwise besides the Panzer IV. So this is a bit bad for Steiner, to put it mildly. It's not catastrophic, but it's not good either. Stuart there hammering away, 8 kills so far. Veteran did 2, 9 kills. Quickly stacking up those kills, in fact, and it is moving in there. Anti-tank forced to fall back. Nice got a bit of skirmishing here. Flamethrower versus flamethrower. Steiner could consider some Panzer gun to deal it. Would be great support for his tanks and help deal, you know, with support weapons and the likes. Got the anti-tank gun there, but he can't quite grab it. Meanwhile, the Panzer moving up to deal with the rear echelons. Except it's not allowed to fire its main gun at them. There we go. Need to go for the MG42. Can't afford to lose that one like the Panzer IV, at least not at this stage. It's already bad he lost the Pack 40 there to the Americans. That's the sort of thing that can easily become a very big regret for the German player. Still remains to control the map though, so it's not all bad. He's got the fuel lead, so that's pretty good as well. I mean, S205 is still very far behind on fuel. So of course for S205 it's huge. He was able to secure himself across another anti-tank, and that makes it much easier for him to hold on against the German plane. Of course, more easily to be able to pull for the tanks. But he probably should begin considering maybe just the fuel cache to help offset some of the fuel differences between the two. Still doing, I would say, an impressive work nonetheless. And again, taking advantage of Steiner's, I would say, complete lack of alacrity there when it came to taking him, and that's a bit of a blunder. But again, a blessing there for S205, an absolute blessing after such a rough start. Well, he can begin taking up soon. He's got the fuel, he just needs the manpower. We'll have to see if he does conform to that fast enough. Got S-Mount time to defend the eastern fuel point. Not a bad move at all, taking advantage of the fact that S205 has no flamethrower. Or no mines, because they're all going on flamethrowers. What he's got there. Apparently the flamethrower can set off mines like that. Interesting. Bit awkward there for Steiner. Still the rifle not exactly the best of condition. They was almost cut the pioneers there. So advanced note, he's keeping everything together. That's going to make it harder there for Steiner just to easily just rush. He's going to need Panzer Grenadiers, I think, to have the best chance of launching an assault there. The machine gun needs to retreat. The Panzer Grenadiers, of course, with their assault will be able to just easily push in, maybe get some of the anti-tanks, or at least pop a bundle grenade to increase the chances of it. Back healing reinforcements. Going for another Pack 40 though. And I think at this stage I'd recommend Panzer Grenadiers just to deal with the anti-tank guns and pack up the Panzer 4. That's just me. Gonna need to find it from the start of the church, but it is quickly becoming a bit too hot. Defensive of the central squares, the Americans try to pour in, but sadly the pour is more like a drip. And even that's falling apart. But there you go, one hell of a pack out to hit that takes out almost entirely the Grenadier squad there. Steiner can soon go for another Panzer IV. Of course, he could try and stall for the Tiger tank. He's not too far off. He's still got the fuel lead. So in this situation, a Tiger tank would actually not be a bad choice. Plus, I mean, he has the tag already. He's got the medium armor, so he can always then quickly follow up with more armor to support the Tiger tank. So going for a Tiger tank here could be a very strong move. There you go, anti-tank going in. They're actually on their own, pretty risky. So in this case, the lack of infantry support for the Panzer IV, though, means it's not too risky either. So only highlights a bit the issue here with Steiner. He likes to play very aggressively, but he does leave some of his stuff there under-supported at, I think, critical times. Like the Pack 40 there, which of course an American almost lost his Panzer IV. Had there been, I think, just one infantry squad here, he probably could have wiped out both anti-tank guns easily, maybe gone away with one. So he's basically screening off the Panzer IV's retreat path and showing that the S205 can't rush it down. Very good play there. More pioneers on the way to help repair the Panzer IV, definitely a critical move. And yeah, he's going for the Tiger tank. He's going for the Tiger tank, and considering the overall situation, it makes perfect sense. He's ahead, he's been able to deny his opponent so much fuel, and he's gaining so much fuel. So maybe just going for a Tiger tank now is not going to, I think, be a massive handover there to S205, because he still needs to properly support it alongside Panzer IV. At the same time, just ensure he doesn't end up delaying it for too long by, stalling for too long as well with manpower. So, oh, he got the mortar there. S205 extended, handing him a mortar. That is actually pretty good there for Steiner, for the Panzer Division. Look at this, it's a mortar. Yeah, I can see, and it's the Americans wrote it, and apparently it's Louis' mortar. Louis? Yeah, I don't know. Apparently the Americans have a thing with that. It also says mortar on it to make sure that they didn't, I don't mistake it for their pasta machine. The Americans have pasta machines. I'm joking, Fritz. Why didn't the Italians have that on the battlefield? Pioneer still has a rifle and flamethrowers there versus the LMG-42. Bit of a lopsided engagement there for the Pioneers. Not something they can handle. And the machine gun, oh, might have just pushed itself too far. Panzer IV, those good to go here for Steiner. He's still roughly a minute and a half away from the Tiger tank. We'll have to see though he keeps reinforcing men to liberally, because he uses them in liberally. And there you go again, machine gun wipe for the second time. Though at least looks like S205 can't run away with it. Well, that was you makes use of the rest of the doctrine after the Tiger. I mean, a mortar half-track in some way could be useful. But there you go, both anti-tank and ready to sort of protect the push with the CoH point. Good play there by S205. Exactly to sort of slowly turn things around. Very good for him. Less good for Steiner.
The enemy is overrunning one of our capture points.
Still no take up though for S205. Steiner very slowly approaching the Tiger. Panzer doesn't do it. This time it works. Grenades off here as well. Good upgrade there by S205. Need to retreat both Grenadiers. Of course, they're in a really terrible condition. Certainly suffering a wipe here would be bad. Or even just suffering too many losses. He has to reinforce them too much. Again, his plan at this stage is just be somehow, just taking the easier fights where he can and go for that Tiger tank as fast as possible and then launch a good assault from a flanking position. so he can have the most impact. Almost lost his MT-42 again. To the trouble with the rifle. 15 kills, so veteran 3. Good work there by Steiner. Pat Carlton unleashing death here. Veteran T2, 8 kills. He keeps reinforcing, so he keeps also delaying his target tank. I mean, again, it's because he keeps wanting to attack here, you know, where the resistance is strongest, rather than again trying to find a better path to attack for looking to do more damage that way. And of course, the string doesn't suffer so much damage; you can just go for that tiger tank. That can be a bit of the problem occasionally with some players. Again, they want to go for the tiger because the tiger tank is so manpower intensive. And again, they sort of don't change the tactics, you know, give them more time. They can end up stalling the tiger tank for ages by sheer accident. Because again, they just keep wanting to make those head-on attacks, bleeding themselves dry, and again, ensuring they can't save up the manpower needed. And it kind of seems to be what's happening here with Steiner. In fact, he's about to use his Panzer IV for this as well. There you go. Blitzkrieg's pop smoke. They're an awkward engagement, and you also can see that he's finally realizing he has to stop attacking head-on at his opponent. Good play there. Some players never do, but Steiner at least has the experience and presence to do. There you go. Gets the pack out. A big loss there for S205. Particularly the actor grabs it. He's also getting very close to the tiger tank, so this is even better. Got the reactions there with a bar and a flamethrower. Panzer can stew it. 3 kill or 11 kills. That's in 3. Need to get the gun of these out of there. But as you can see there again, by just attacking elsewhere and just not, bashing his head into a wall, he can make a lot of gains, but at the same time ensuring, he doesn't suffer massive manpower bleed, so he can actually go for that target tank more efficiently. So, as I always say, sometimes the best path is not a straight line. It's, I don't say that a lot, but I should be saying a lot more, but, flank more, attack head on less. Unless you're actually using proper smokescreen tactics, which he wasn't. Anyways, Panzer IV being fixed up. Tiger tank is now moments away. S205 though is also by finally having tagged up. He can soon go for the EC8, and that's going to put some more pressure there, I think, on Steiner. Depending, of course, how he uses them. Got the eastern fuel point again. Grabbing the western fuel point lead to deny the fuel there to S205. Seconds away from the Tiger tank, and getting the Panzer IV back in action. There we go. Straight to the American light machine gun squad. There we got grenades as well. But the Tiger has arrived. Schwerer Panzer gefechtsbereit. I would of course have to make use of the Tiger, because he's just charging head on into the anti-tank guns. He might not quite do as much as he pulls off a proper flank with it. Panzer IV heading out. Of course, now I can just begin going for more Panzer IVs or Austrians, and of course these are cheaper. They require less manpower stockpiling again compared to the Tiger, which requires 640. Pedal map machine on the way. The bazooka team firing. EC8 on the way for S205. So I mean, even though everything else, he still managed to get a lot more armor than S205 due to the strong aggressive play using the machine gun, of course, controlling the fuel flow. Of course, S205 I think was able to play very well against that, of course, managing to ensure that he does get hit with more, and of course actually make sure that even with so much armor, Steiner can't just use it completely like, a maniac with several tanks. About to lose the Pioneers that go around getting obliterated by the might of the Tiger and the Panzer IV. Pin-up machine ready for the Tika as well. Easy halfway down there, go first shot from the tank on the Tiger tank, but failed to penetrate one underneath his thick armor. Second shot that penetrates. Panzer moving east with the pushback rifleman, opening up the fuel point there. Pioneers was the captain. Tiger tank moving up here. There we go. Action hit almost taking out the captain. We got bazooka fire as well. None of it hitting the Tiger even remotely. We can soon go for another Panzer IV ready, which of course means going to have a 3-to-1 tank advantage. Or 3-to-2, I guess we count the steward as a tank. Of course, again, the Tiger tank is kind of causing a bigger mess. There you go. He's acting pretty aggressively with the Panzer IV in this case. Gets punished by an anti-tank expecting it, plus the EC8. Good play there by S205. Almost taking out the Panzer IV there, which would have been quite a blow there to Steiner, as that would certainly minimise the armoured advantage. And there you go. Oh, he doesn't have the munitions for the Panzer fast, but the Blitzkrieg does nonetheless pull the Panzer IV there out of trouble. Targeting probably could do some repairs besides the Panzer IV. Back here, healing reinforcement. Panzer IV pulling back for those very necessary repairs. And down here we got the Stuart's the Grenadiers. Panzer fast off, victory comes wise. Lead there for Steiner over S205. Machine gun covering up there now. Targeting heading eastwards. Grenadiers standing on the field point. Could probably do a bit more. He could maybe consider some machine gun bangers at some stage, but for now I'd probably just recommend him more armor. Other Panzer IVs, or maybe just Austrians, to help deal with the anti-tank and the likes rather than getting blasted by the Tiger. 88mm shell, of course, proving to be quite unpleasant. Repair shooting going on, the Panzer IV almost done. Another Panzer IV there for Steiner. As to be expected. When players go for Panzer IVs, they tend to go for a lot of them. Bit of a push of the reactions. We've got the E6 coming up to support. Splitting up the armour. At this stage, I think Steiner should just try and concentrate his armour on a regular basis, and he just somehow try to catch the anti-tank guns off guard and then shatter them. I mean, right now, the anti-tank guns actually kind of split up, so I mean, if you can sort of spot one of the anti-tank guns rushing to destroy it, that'd be huge for him, because if S205 managed to basically then coordinate the anti-tank guns, they can quickly do some heavy damage to his panzers, maybe even take out for a chance to react. So I do think Steiner needs to follow the advice of Guderian and strike with a fist, not an open hand. That is, you concentrate your tanks, you don't just split them up all over the place when you're attacking. Panzer IV does super close eventually too. Tiger tank good to go once more for the German army. Panzer IV, though, he need repairs again. We got the other Panzer IV ready as well. Should get that one going to the front line. He might also want to consider maybe some reconnaissance overflight to gain an idea there of where stuff is, because if he were to do that again, I think he'd quickly realise just how overextended S205s and the tank guns are, and then, you know, find them and destroy them, because we can get rid of those anti-tank guns. A lot of S205's strength just vanishes against the Tiger and the Panzer IV. There you go, quick shot on the Tiger tank there alongside a few bazookas. Another penetrating hit. They're going to be going for the Pack 40, which is by the eventually too. Steiner should definitely try to ensure that thing does not hit virtually fleet, because that's going to be an absolute monster against his Tiger tank. Panzer Vasner stood again, Tiger tank in the head, but no, he's not sending in armoured support. None of the other Panzer IVs are backing up the Tiger tank, which is definitely a bit unfortunate. And we got one Panzer IV around, the other one is over here in the east. Grenadiers about to get wiped out there. Pretty brutal stuff there. Tiger shoots, misses the EC, hits a tree or something else instead. But there you go, lands a bit on the EC8 still. Needs to fall back, I think, for some repairs for now. Lots of action, lots of pushes. Moving hit with Panzer IV, despite there being probably a lot of anti-tankers nearby. Mortarfire landing close hits his S205's infantry. The 6th Armoured continues to fight bravely against the Krauts. Panzer IV, they're closing in eventually one. They got the Pack 40 here. Probably should fall back. Don't make the same mistake twice, Steiner. Scheiße. Actually healing and forcing.
We fight bravely for the Reich. The enemy is down to 200 points.
Veteran T2, Tiger, Panzer IV moving out.
The enemy is attempting to steal our sector.
20 kills in that 2-2, pretty good work there. Stuart though with 16. Bringing in the Panzer IV, Tiger moving as well. They need to be careful though. And this is sort of the spot where really probably should consider, you know, a good flank to get behind the anti-tanks and just try and shatter them. Panzer IV in the far east. Not entirely sure what it's supposed to achieve there, where there's absolutely no action. Bit of a curious choice, I think, for Steiner.
Looks like we're getting into the excitement.
Tiger down to half health. With 2 points wise, the lead continues to reign here for the Germans. almost wiped the anti-tank and crew there, but not quite, not quite.
The enemy is overrunning one of our capture points.
Swift push here, but straight into the EC8s. And we got another one with it for S205. Steiner probably should consider his tactics a bit differently, because right now he's allowing S205 just to build up an armoured force here, because the attacks you're making is mostly head-on into S205 strong points, meaning he doesn't actually get very far and doesn't do too much damage. He needs to like either lay down a smoke screen and then push, he needs to flank. And so far neither of the two really seem to be happening here for Steiner, which just makes it easy for the S205 to fall on the defence. And S205 on the hand is, I think, much sharper at using smoke so far. And, well, maybe not quite the flanker, that can always happen, I guess. Good Reaper's rapping, 21 kills in that light armoured car. E4-2, they're getting blasted by the double EC8s on the field here with 76.2mm guns. Actually, I think it's just 76mm. The name EC8 that just came from the designation E8, which just was a reference to its suspension, which was sort of the major difference between that and the 76mm and also the regular one. Little fun fact there. Little fun fact. Tiger tank setting out. Stewart on fire from the Tiger, but the Tiger misses. Good hit there from the Tiger on the Stewart though. Good hit. Both EC8s going in. Tanks only repairs here for Steiner for the Panzer Division. And he's moving here, we got the EC8s bombarding, got the anti-tank guns backing this up, at least one of them. Grenade off against the gun, who's actually right bunched up. Acton's up to doing not too much there. Probably should consider back breaking off this assault and again just building up an armoured push. Tiger tank mentioned C1. OD seems like send out the Pioneers to fix up the Tiger, maybe rather than just prioritise repairing the other tanks. We'll have to see where this ends up.
Our lines of supply are disrupted.
S205 that continues to defend himself quite skillfully here versus Steiner.
The squad of pioneers has arrived.
And Steiner seems to be struggling a bit here overall. As he just keeps doing the same thing over and over again without necessarily changing his tactical approach. We got triple Pioneers, which does speed up repairs notably here for Steiner. Also puts him at 100 pop cap exactly. Going to defend the fuel point, but I really think he should just do what he did earlier, which is hit east center. And there you go, we got some air reconnaissance. Looks like he's trying to figure out a better path than just straight head on into the, the jaws of the Freedom Eagle, or the beak of it. Got the easiest to find there with the 50 caliber machine guns there mounted. And he's using this, I think, to just snipe at them with the Pack-4 instead of trying to flank. I know that's really the very best use of it there for Steiner. Honestly, a bit of a waste. Because if we were to understand, he would realise again that means there's a big potential for either flanking through here or there, catching the anti-tank until I've got maybe some of the tanks, and that way destroying them. One Panzer IV good to go, two good to go, need to get the L1 ready, and then he should make an attack. Preferably using this mortar smoke screen actually we just smoke in the middle of it and just charge in, because the smoke would basically separate the different units from supporting each other, which would just minimise the fire incoming on his armour, so that could also just be a way. I mean, there's really a lot of ways that Steiner could deal with this, but so far he's not really choosing them. Apart from the veteran Panzer IV really shoots him. Fun fact about the Panzer IV with armoured skirts was actually very commonly mistaken for a Tiger tank. In fact, the Russians thought that was a deliberate move by the Germans to deceive them into thinking they had more Tigers than not. Little fun fact there. But basically, the reason why the Allies could report so many Tiger tanks destroyed in Normandy was simply because they mistook the Panzer IVs for them. Air reconnaissance again, smoking off by the way as well, so interesting enough, Steiner's not getting any ideas there about smoke despite his opponent using it reasonably well against him. 20 points left, almost got the EC8 there, should pull back the Panzer IV. Ah, he's going to commit it. He's going to charge in. Have you got the TIE tank from the north? Need to get the other Panzer IV moving in there. Need to get it in. Said he slows up. Ah, the assault is not going on. He's going to lose the Panzer IV to the EC8. Ah. Got one EC8, but he might lose the TIE tank. Pull it back, pull it back. Scheiße. And again, this is where just smoking this area would have been great rather than trying to mortar it, because it would have made it much harder for him to use this. What are you doing with the Panzer IV? Oh, Scheiße, he's going to try and take out the EC8 with his veteran Panzer IV. He's going for another one, but this is going to be pretty risky because most likely he's going to seal and just stop it up. Shot bounce, blitzkrieging here to be a bit hard to keep track of. He got bazooka fire though. Ah, he did. He shot at something else, however, got stuck up. Either way, Stuart though is on the field here, stunning it up. Apparently forgotten about that, and he immediately loses Panzer IV without even getting the EC8. I mean, this was just a horridly calculated assault. He should have waited for everything else to be ready, and then could have sent in the Panzer IV, because then they tried to catch it with the anti-tankers. They can then attack from the north with something else and destroy them. But I feel like Steiner is beginning to get a bit irritated. He's making a lot of bad calls because he probably just wants to finish this, and that just makes it easier further for S205 to defend himself. But of course, it makes it much harder for Steiner to make any gains. I mean, he just threw away 2 tanks, including eventually 2 Panzer IV, and lost the Grenadier squad as well here. Not good. Another Panzer IV, they're running there for the Panzer to be shown. Early in the Pack 40 is actually hit Veteran 3, which is really bad news for the TIE tank. Grenade against the double punish to try to clear up the anti-tank guns. He's definitely having enough of them, that's for sure. S205's Veteran tank, EC8 moving up there. Rather than the TIE tank and the Panzer IV. Close to Veteran 2 there on the Tiger. And back here healing enforcement. Steiners beginning to run out of infantry, whereas S205 has got plenty. And we got another EC8 there for S205 for the 6th Armoured Division. 22 kills in the 2-2, not bad at all. We got the EC8 moving ahead here. TIE tank moving in, going for the kill, at least attempting to. EC8 lands a hit straight on, and tank and shoot bounces, but the Pack 4 there, the Ace 1, easily lands a hit there on the Tiger tank. Penetrating. More grenades away there for Steiner, who attempted Panzer grenades, and do think he should go for those instead. Might even lose the Panzer IV here if he's not careful. Tiger though hits Veteran 2, that's pretty good. That means increased accuracy and range, making the Tiger a much more formidable opponent, particularly as an infantry. It's a great work by Steiner keeping alive for that long. If he'd just been able to keep up the Panzer IV to Veteran 3. Now he's going to go for it again, right in front of the Veteran fleet and a tank gun, and then he moves straight back in front of it. Definitely a bit ill-advised there, but at least he didn't try to go for after here, because going to make into the other end of the tank gun and needs to do it, which would just stand up the Tiger. But he's going to have to repair both the Panzer IV and the Tiger as swiftly as possible. Enough anti-tank fire there against the EC8. Pack 40 is moving a bit up here. Panzer IV good to go. He can soon go for another one. At this stage, you might just want to consider some Stugs and Panzer Grenadiers. The Stugs just have to deal with EC8s with the sheer high rate of fire, and then have the Panzer Grenadiers when we're about to deal with the infantry, and maybe flank and deal with the anti-tank guns. Almost got the Stuart there. Target weak point used. Might be able to get it. No! The anti-tank begins prioritizing the... and he loses the Panzer IV again. Steiner here definitely feels like he's getting a bit tilted. He's starting to make some not very good calls. He's beginning to lose units in manners that are not what I'd call very productive. But of course, S205 is more than eager to exploit this and punish him for it. Now it's basically down to the Tiger tank again, and throwing away another Panzer IV. Planning some good hits with the Tiger tank, so to lose his mortar crew, which definitely hurt out. Rather than getting obliterated by all the pioneers, but also the Tiger tank. But he's going to have to spend time once more repairing the thing. Mortar wiped out. Should do that with 24 kills. Very good, very good. I'm guessing he's just going to keep going for Panzer IVs. Gonna do this with a light machine gun and a bar, showing a lot of firepower. There we go. Rifling negative cover against the tank. I'm not entirely sure what S205 is thinking. He might just not realise he got the unit, gave the units an attack order. Either way, the rifling got a wipe. That's definitely helpful there for Steiner. Though he's gonna need a lot more. And there we go. We got an ace EC out here for S205 in the 6th Armoured. Definitely bad news for any of Steiner's infantry and armour. Almost got the stoop, but one from the skates got easy moving up for the tag tank. He's might be getting a bit greedy. Could be a chance here to get a wipe on the tanks. Smoking off again to help the retreat. And successfully escapes. It gets the 2-2 inside Steiner's base. A bold attack here, which was easily succeeds again in part due to smoke. Imagine if Steiner had used smoke during any of his attacks properly instead of just panzer attrition to get out of there. But actually maybe a smoke screen combined with panzers and actually push forwards. Might have gone a lot better here for Steiner, but instead it's S205 schooling Steiner in the art of smoke. Well, he needs to get back to fixing up the Tiger tank, because without that one he's definitely doomed. And it's probably his greatest asset right now, and if he can hit it to veteran 3, his chances of winning might just go up a bit, because of it's going to be, you know, very mobile, very accurate, and have a good rate of fire. I mean, he can do some serious damage to S205 if he can get it there. Another Panzer IV on the way. Tiger tank almost good to go. Going to do so versus the ACC 18 kills for America, Freedom and Democracy. We've got Rifling up here as the MG42 caught in a bad spot here. Still managed to somehow suppress them because someone stuck the fat head out too far to cover. Targeting dispatched. Pack 4 going to deal with it. Again, you can see he's getting a bit reckless, but he's got his own Pack 4 there, veteran 3. Might be able to get it. And he gets an EC8. Very good, very good. Target tank here. They're taking hits from the EC8s and the Majors with the bazookas. Falls back here, they're very close to veteran 3, still getting rid of one tank. It's going to give Steiner here some more breathing room, down to 7% 152. Needs to get that target fixed very fast and needs to put more pressure on the sides. And overall needs to find some sort of good flanking spot here, because he should not be trying to engage. I think S205 head on as much as he is trying to do. Might want to set up the Pack 40 here. Set it up. What are you doing? What are you doing? Steiner, 9. Scheiße. And he finally gets this dude after so many attempts and so much grief. He finally gets the bastard. Of course, S205 is quickly replacing his tanks. Steiner theoretically can, but he's just short on manpower. Target tank being rushed eastwards, not even fully repaired. Pretty risky. 60 points left to 49. In fact, actually, never mind, not 60 here versus 152 from S205. Going straight with the Panzer IV. Certainly feels like a bit of a pathing issue, just against Steiner being a bit tilted. Target tank in need of repairs here. Managed to somehow salvage the Panzer IV from that mess. Pioneers almost good to go. And making a run here for the Western Victory Point and the Eastern one. 25 points left, starting to look pretty rough there. Tiger tank not being repaired. We got air recons out, grabbing the point here, grabbing every victory point here. Probably shoot those grenadiers before the ace wipes them out. So since we got the backup there from another EC8, increasing the rate of fire the AC8. Aircraft shot down by the 5th Caliber mount of the EC8s. Bad news for Steiner and for the Panzerlehr. Interesting enough, he's repairing the Panzer around the ace. Of course, the ace is more mobile, but I'd also say if he doesn't repair the ace, he can't really use it in the hot spots for too long without risking losing it. If he loses it, I mean, it's game over. But at the same time, of course, if he can't hold the victory points, it's game over as well. So probably should prioritizing the ace at the moment a bit more than he is. We've got incendiary off his rounds, but he's quick to replace it or reposition it due to the auxiliary fire there. Heavy fire around the center, got Rifling charging forwards into the map. 12 points left here. Grenade top from MD42 almost taking up. Pioneers moving forward. The Tiger not being repaired here. Has to defend the victory point. There you go. Man to stall hip with. Almost rendered neutral there, but not quite. Tiger ace moving. Oh, almost ace moving ahead here. Panther 4 getting blasted. Pioneer Squad, what mean there's less to repair with. This is starting to look really bad here for Steiner. His forces are quickly dropping like flies. Good hits there from the, I believe, veteran Pack 40. Almost got the EC8 there. Targeting a 4th direct hit from the anti-tank gun, which luckily for him, Fat Nan's the bounce. There you go, Ace Tiger, but will it last for much longer? Got, oh no, needs to blitz. Scheiße. Ooh, shots, bounces every hit. Pack misses the EC8 just barely. He's going to try and win the Tiger. Ah, he almost got it. And there you go, the Ace EC8 goes down. But he's barely got anything to grab the other points with. And his Tiger Ace can't handle much more. He's going for more Pioneers, which is good, but got the Panther 1 straight to be easily knocked out by the anti-tank guns. An absolute brutal slaughter here. Captain exchange of the Grenadiers. The bars and light machine making short of the Captain's move towards negative cover. 10 points left. Almost got the Captain here. Oh dear, he's sending in the ace. He's sending in the ace. 5 points left. 4. Can he grab the point soon enough? And the ace goes down. A direct hit, I think, from a Pack 40 there. Or Pack cards all the way. The ace is down. And with that, I probably suspect Steiner's last hope. His very last hope is gone. He should have pulled it back further and repaired it properly. Pack ambushing there the EC8. Almost got it there. High rate of fire and everything, but he's barely got anything left. Pioneer's about to get wiped. They're going to lose. Dead. This is just a charnel house by this stage. Another Panther 4 there for Steiner. But Steiner keeps fighting to the very bitterest of end, to the last bullet, to the last blood. Oh, no, mind. There we go. GG. Game over. An absolutely brutal fight right here with heavy casualties on both sides, almost approaching 500 casualties total. It was really close at times to the first 205, but I think strategically he made the right moves, he made the right tech choices, basically deciding to stall out there and basically realizing he's not going to win on fuel early game, so he's just going to try and stall for a match game and just, you know, hope to pull through enough with fuel long term, relying on anti-tanks and stood, so that way stall. It worked out pretty well, in particular because Steiner just refused to use smoke or flank at several crucial points, blowing away his major armor advantage and then slowly also losing infantry without replacing it. Basically his tactics as the game went on, while initially we were strong, basically for some reason full-time, not frustration, exhaustion, whatever, but he began making more and more mistakes, which S205 again I think played very solidly throughout the match. Basically just slowly able to turn the game around, just break him down. And again, at times it was still close that Steiner might be able to pull through, but again just those micro mistakes and other issues just kept cropping up and just cost him the game. So there you go, an absolutely brutal slug out here on Arnhem Checkpoint. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share it with your friends. And of course, if you like to do, can donate or pledge on Patreon. Links in the video description. This is Pro Links and cheers. Thank you for watching. You all a wonderful audience. Hope you see you tomorrow again for another signing episode. Bye.